You can be doing healthy things every single day and still be stuck overweight, exhausted, and wondering what the heck you're doing wrong. I literally see it all the time. Someone comes in and they're eating cleaner than most people. They are buying the right foods. They're going to the gym, and yet the scale barely moves and their energy is in the dumpster. I'm Dr. John D'Ambrosio, chiropractor for over 32 years, author of the book Fasting That Works, and I lost 20 pounds of fat while maintaining and even building muscle with intermittent fasting. So what's usually going on is not that they're lazy or lying, but they built their life around a few habits that look healthy on the surface, but backfire in real life. Habit number one is grazing. People graze on healthy food all day: almonds, yogurt, protein bars, fruit smoothies. None of these are inherently evil, but the problem is the pattern. You wake up, have something to eat. You have something to eat as you drive to work. You keep snacks at your desk. You grab something in the car on the way home. Then you start nibbling after dinner. So on paper, yeah, you're eating healthy foods, but your body never really gets a break from processing food. It is always dealing with your last snack instead of getting a clear stretch of time to tap into that stored fat. If you zoom out, you're not eating three solid meals or two solid meals. You're running from one long meal in the morning all the way through the night. That constant input is a quiet fat loss killer, even if food looks clean. Habit number two: using exercise to earn or erase food. This is a person who says, I worked out so I can have this. I blew it at lunch. I'll fix it with extra cardio later. They're always trying to use the gym to cancel what they ate instead of using food to actually support training and recovery. They flip it. What happens? They drag themselves into workouts underfueled or overstuffed. They feel awful during the session and then they're starving afterwards. So what do? They overeat anyway. They associate exercise with punishment, not performance. And then when you do that, it never becomes something you can stick with long term. Who would want to stick with punishment? Meanwhile, their nervous system is taking a hit. Hard workouts, high stress life, poor sleep, and random food on top of it. The body's response is to protect, not to burn. Habit number three is living in permanent diet mode. Holy mackerel. These people are always on something or off something. They always name what they're doing. There's always a start date, always a restart date, and they're always a little hungry, a little guilty, and a little obsessed with the next plan. Chronic stress comes with this, and constant anxiety, diet anxiety. They crank up cravings, they make it harder to regulate blood sugar, way easier to store fat around the middle. You think you're being disciplined, but your brain is living in survival mode. And that shows up on the scale. It shows up in your energy. So, what do you do if you recognize yourself in this? You do not need a more extreme plan. Please, you need fewer fake healthy habits and more honest structure. For the grazing problem, you go back to actual meals. Put real food on the plate, sit down and eat it, give yourself space between. Those gaps are where your body can finally reach that stored fat instead of the last handful of something you grabbed out of the pantry. For the earn and erase training problem, this is important. You stop using workouts as punishment and start asking two questions. Did I fuel well before? And am I eating to recover after? You should feel better and more capable because you train. You should not feel broken and entitled to binge later. For the permanent diet problem, what you need to do is step off the hamster wheel and pick something you could realistically live with on a normal, say, Tuesday, 6 months from now. If you can't picture yourself doing it, then it is not a plan and it is a controlled crash. When you clean up those three areas, you are no longer fighting your own routine all day. Your body finally gets chances to use fat, and this fat has been held on to for a long time. You're not wrecked into a process. So if you're tired of doing the right things and getting the wrong result, do not add another diet to the pile. Look at how you snack and how you train and how often you are mentally on a plan, and fix those first. If you want a simple way to start, there's a link in my bio for a free fat loss cheat sheet a link to my 5-star reviewed book, Fasting That Works, and a link to my Fasting That Works Fat Loss Masterclass.